Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I'm here with the wonderful Wolfie, and welcome. This is just general share advice and not personal. Wolf, I've got a new photo behind me, right?
Yes. What's that about?
Do you know where it is?
Show me. I need to have a closer look.
I'll move out of the way.
Like a desert or something.
Yeah, but you know what? But this is what we talked about this before. Was it fascinates me? This desert back here behind me. It's in Poland.
Yes.
So tell me, look, how do you have a desert in Poland where it rains the whole time? I mean, what is wrong with your country?
No, Dave, there's nothing wrong. It's actually what an incredible country it is that we've got the biggest desert in Europe.
I know, but what I mean, it looks quite nice. I mean, do people go sunbathing in there? Is that where you like? Is that the beach with no sea?
They get that Egyptian experience. Like if they want to go to Sahara, right? They don't have to fly over to Egypt. They just go straight there. And I'm sure probably some Polish entrepreneurs probably set up a little fake, camels and pyramids.
Anyway, very, very interesting, Wolf. So a desert in Poland.
I've never been there, by the way. So it's a fascinating place. I would have to have a look.
Yeah, I think that it's got to be on your bucket list, hasn't it? Or okay, let's go. Let's get doing this. And so, Wolfie.
Yes. You want to start with the trades first, right? So we've got some ideas for you guys.
Yeah, and we're going to start with, I think, maybe possibly our preferred idea or favorite one idea.
One, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what, Wolf, great chart. It's doing well on Einstein's, but I'm fascinated with your fundamental reasons, right, which really maybe make me think there's a chance possibly this could go on with it, right?
Look, it's just always been a long-term story. Whenever we looked at it, I don't know, when I first met you, right, about 7-8 years ago, I thought NXT has got a long future, but markets, what markets are, sometimes that stock gets expensive, sometimes it doesn't hit its targets, and so on. But generally speaking, it's done okay, right? It lasts maybe 2 or 3 years. It's been going sideways because of a number of reasons. Probably one that the tech at the moment, especially one that's not profitable, just struggling. But you look at it, it's still getting better, getting bigger. Their revenues are getting stronger on a year-to-year basis. And it's a long-term theme of data, right? Exponential growth of data, where we are just using more data. There's more data produced out there. And now we've got this unbelievable thing that's come up, and that's AI, right? It is just huge. These type of things will, again, exponentially probably accelerate the data, right? The AI, the chat GPTs, the bards of the Googles, they are going to be just unbelievably driving this probably sector for me. And I saw the article a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, about AWS, which is Amazon, right? Which is data centers, spending $12 billion in Australia to expand its operations. This is a green light for me to get back on NXT bandwagon again as a trade to start off with. And maybe if you like it long-term, put it as a long-term investment, because this is, again, we're basically saying we're back, baby.
All right, and again, this AI, we've all played around with Chat GPT. It's just going to need so much more storage.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the data, the unbelievable how much it will probably need and use over the coming years. And like I said to you just before, I reckon in 100 years' time, every third building probably be a data center. How much data we consume.
All right. No, that's absolutely fascinating, Wolfie. So this is a trade. Buy under 11. I think we're going to target 11.90 to begin with. See if we can get there quickly. Maybe a 2-month trade, Wolf, and we're going to have a stop loss just under. I think we'll go for the blue line because it's a good story. Maybe 9.90. Yeah. Yep,
that sounds like a very strong actually support, right? Because you've got that psychological 10, and you've got that beautiful blue line to give it extra strength.
Brilliant. So we're going to put that one on as official trade. Other trades that I think are looking very, very good, and I think Soul Patch is still looking very strong. And Wolf, you're seeing a coal doing a little bit better. That's helping, isn't it? Brickworks is holding up, and they say they're reasonably busy. So it's making sense that maybe you can see this trade.
And if the markets are recovering, these guys are now almost like a fund manager. They've got a big business unit of looking at the market. So if the markets are recovering, these guys are also going to benefit significantly out of this. So potentially, this could go on a roll.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if someone does want to trade this, I think it's got a nice stop just under that 30.
Exactly.
West Farmers again. Yeah, I could argue you need to do a little bit more West Farmers, but it's not bad. Definitely, Wolf. Definitely on the right way. I think VEA is another one that we've had a look at. Again, you've got a stock that's breaking out and giving a 12% div.
Yep. And it just announced an acquisition, a big acquisition to that, which they're talking that it is going to be first year accretive, right? So that's going to add more firepower to say this is a buy or at least a hold.
I like it, but I think this has definitely got to be a growth with divs, hasn't it?
Yeah, but the only problem is it's a funny growth with div because it is dependent on oil and gas prices in a way, right? So it's not an easy one.
A 6-month growth with div.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, right. Let's put it on.
We need to make sure that that's oil and gas behaves itself.
And I think, the reason I like it, I think oil is looking like it's going a little bit high at the moment. But Wolf, you got a nice stop loss, haven't you? You could use that 3. You could go quite tight on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I would go tight on a lot of these things. You just want to protect your profits. If you go
295, you can target say about 345. Yeah, just a bit under if you want. And happy days. But you know what I like about it? If it doesn't work, well, you still got your 12.5% div.
That's exactly right. This is why it makes such good sense, doesn't it? That you've got protection from really big dividends, but the company's actually going places. They are looking to grow with that acquisition.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'd actually, because the div's so good, I think I'd give my stop loss a little bit more leeway, maybe.
And the beautiful thing about the acquisition, they're not going to the market. They're going to they're going to use their own firepower and go to debt, which is maybe risky, of course, going debt, but no dilution.
Yeah, maybe I'll lift that target price a little bit as well, 348. So, I think that looks excellent, Wolf. Right now, as another one, I think that's looking very, very good. FPH.
That's it.
So we are actually trading this at the moment, and it's on the way to the target price. And it's most probably it's not most probably not too late to get in, but it looks very, very, very good.
This is one of those. Remember we talked about it. This is like a 12-month trade. That was when we first saw that big green candle when they said, we're back, baby, right? And it's nothing's changed. So if you bought that back at the beginning, you're holding still. But for the new fees, you get in now.
And it's an interesting stock. It never broke support, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
It did a normal exhaustion pattern sideways and then it started to go for it. And you just feel that this is going to run higher, Wolf.
Yeah. But I even go back even further, back to that big green line that it first come up with. Yeah, that one there, where it came back to the blue line. We never said to sell, just hold on. It hasn't broken that at all. It's just been so good.
No, excellent. It looks like it's going higher as well. And another one, which again, not far from a buy. I mean, IGL has just been a winner, hasn't it? And maybe could work its way a little bit higher next week. 2 more interesting ones, Wolf. Good stories. JLG. Oh, it just struggled now. I mean, it just needs to close above that 655, I think, by the end of the trade today. And maybe it's worth having a look. Again, this is a story that had some massive upgrades, didn't it, on the
well, everyone loves it pretty much. I mean, it's a market darling, no doubt. You look at all the brokers out there, they all love it. Well, obviously, we like it as well, but we're here to make money on this. And, when you look at the fundamentals, it's telling us we can make money on this over probably a longer term period. So
maybe not, maybe not for trending, but if we can end the, if we can close above maybe 655, it could be okay for next week. And I'm going to leave this one, the last one, PEXA. Again, I know you've liked the story and you've been frustrated with this because it's just not happened for you. But, you know, if you're right, Wolf, with inflation possibly slowing down, and let's hope you are, maybe, you know, this is the first time since May, over a year, that it's actually looks like it's going to end the week above trend.
Yes. Dave, the thing is, you're putting the mocker on this. You know,
I know. Okay, forget us.
I've been praying and, you know, crying in bed at night. Please go PEXA, go up. Dave, it's as soon as it goes up, you're putting a mocker on. Thanks a lot.
All right. Shall I not talk about? Okay. Okay. Everyone forget what I talked about. Just ignore that completely. This is what happens when you're in the desert. You don't think properly. But Wolf, I'll tell you what though, it's got a pretty good. It's got a good risk reward, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, Dave. I've banged my head against the wall with this one, with the share price, but I've always been supportive of it because I see a very good business here. That the market just obviously was selling down due to probably the state of economies, right? Probably the state of the real estate market, and probably other little small factors, which is a tech story. But it's actually a profitable story, right? So you can see it recovering very quickly if the markets change. So for example, if you've got a slowdown in inflation and a pause in interest rates like we've seen in Australia from RBA, if I'm right about that, that's, you know, we're seeing a lower inflation in the coming months. And, you know, there's even talk now, and look, I probably disagree with it, but there's talk that they might start cutting rates at the end of December, early January next year. This is going to probably be trading much higher than it is, right? So this is what I'm thinking. Is that what the market's telling us here? That can see what I'm seeing, that we're back, baby, again. So look, I'm hoping, and it's a good story. It just needed slight market change conditions, and you'll probably get back to that $14-15 again. All
right. So what about buy under that 1390? Yeah. So 2 months trade, a stop loss at 1359, somewhere around here. And maybe initially target that sort of 1444.
Can we change it to a 6 month trade?
Yeah. Okay. You want?
I want to give it 6 months because, you know, if this is going to be a slow turnaround in the interest rates, right? Pause. It just needs probably a little bit more longer to just get that heat going back into it. That's
all right. Then I'll lift that target price a little bit higher, then move to 1490. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I like this. It's yeah. You know what I do, Wolf? I've learned over the years, I'm going to be much better off trending your stories than I am trending FOMO stories. So I like it. So I think PEXA, good story, good breakout. Come on, you've got to do it for us, baby.
Oh, absolutely. You've given me a hard time with this PEXA, but maybe I can reward you.
Yeah.
With my undying love.
So we got some good ones. I think we got VEA, the 12.5% div that's growing.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. I will not use that word no brainer.
Thank you.
And you got that, your logic behind NXT.
You know, I've always, you know, whenever I make a case for anything, Dave, I have to come up with a pretty compelling evidence-based thesis. And I think I do that every single time I pick a stock, because otherwise I'd look like a fool, right? So even though I might be wrong, but at least I've got something to back me up, right, with my own little thinking. So, you know, yeah, I'll probably be wrong sometimes, but at least you can see the reasons why I choose some of these things.
All right. Now, after giving people 3 trades, we're also going to be very contrary here. And we're going to say, maybe you should sell some stocks because, Wolf, we got inflation numbers coming out on Friday night in America.
Yeah, correct.
Our markets are going to be closed for 4 days. It was interesting. I was doing CTM last night. A lot of the boys were in the golf plays and the girls and doing very well with them, right? And we were talking about it. We're saying, you know, 4 days, it's a long time, you know, big profits there. So we're talking not a bad idea with some of these gold plays, I think, to start taking some profits. Wolf, we can always buy them back in, right? We can always buy them back on Tuesday morning. But I think, you know, if you're up 10, 15%, I mean, some of them have gone crazy, like, you know, from like AGG when we put that on Einstein's, and that's actually up nearly what, 20-25%, I don't know, but
that's a really good profit there.
yeah. So I think you've got to take it. You know, you can always buy back. That's not a problem. And again, quite rightly, Wolf, you're looking at some gold, some silver, and silver is also breaking out. And there's some ideas there. We've got obviously IVR, which is a silver play, which again, nice little breakout. We've got S32, again, you know, has a lot of silver that could hold above trend.
By the way, you know, just with the silver, there's not many quality stories out there, you know, on ASX with the silver. So it's very difficult. And I know, you know, silver is looking fairly similar in gold charting wise, where it's breaking out, but much more riskier in silver than gold. I can only find two stories really that were above trend, Dave, and that was the two, this SVL and IVR. And I went through a lot of these. And the other exposure, just fundamentally talking, is S32, which has got the biggest silver mine in the world. That's Cannington. So you could possibly play these three if you want to, you know, play a more risk silver type stuff.
Okay, but that's again, our advice would be,
I'll probably wait till Tuesday.
Tuesday, because this is speculative stuff. And I think it's important, those ideas, that those trades we put on, you know, we're not having to worry about too much about commodities with them. Maybe West Farmers a little bit if someone buys that, but generally speaking, they're not really commodity driven. It's more about say that Sols is a bit, isn't it? But generally speaking, they're not, hopefully not going to move up and down violently with commodity moves.
No, look, it's always obviously got coal, but you know, it now makes a very small part of the whole DNA, right?
Yeah.
It's the same with West Farmer with his lithium, very small part.
It's small part, but there's a bit there. That's what I'm trying to say.
There is. So you know, you could have an effect, but you know, I think they're much more loved companies than you know, they're not going to move extravagantly like a BHP, for example, right? With commodities. So you're still fairly protected.
All right. So just sum up, looking to take some profits on gold. General feeling is silver and gold. If it still looks good, great. We can buy back on Tuesday. And we've got some trades, and I think they're good. Now they're good trades, good stories. There will not be this weekend, this long weekend, so there won't be sides or a hot stock. So hopefully we've given you some really good ideas to have a look at. That you.
The only thing I'm going to give you is a hot cross bun.
All right, Wolf. On that joke, I think we better let people go off.
It's like a 5-year-old joke, isn't it?
Well,
like old fuddy duddy.
I think let them go and eat their Easter eggs now. Anyway, from everyone at Equity Story, we want to wish you a really happy Easter. Have an absolutely superb time. Really enjoy yourself with your families and have a good rest. And we'll be back on this Tuesday morning. See you.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your Easter break.
Thanks, Wolfie. Bye, mate. Bye.